Good morning, children. Welcome to online session. In today's Science 2 online session, we shall start with a new lesson, lesson number 16, Heredity and Variation. Inheritance, heredity, chromosomes, types of chromosomes, deoxyribonucleic acid, gene, ribonucleic acid. These are the points we have to cover. Inheritance. The branch of biology which studies the transfer of characteristics of organisms from one generation to the next and genes in particular is called genetics. That is a branch of biology. New progeny is formed through the process of reproduction. Except for a few minor differences, the offspring shows great similarities with parents. Organisms produced by asexual reproduction show minor variations. However, offsprings produced through sexual reproduction show comparatively greater variations. In the picture, they are shown the facial features. It will be so many similarities will be there from parents and of offsprings also, and nose structure, lip structure, hairline, attachment of the earlobe. Next is heredity. What is the meaning or the definition of heredity? Transfer of characteristics from parents to offspring is called heredity. It is due to heredity that puppies are similar to dogs, squabs are similar to pigeons, and infants are similar to humans. Though there are many similarities between parents and their offsprings, there are some differences too. These similarities and differences are all the effect of heredity. Let us study the mechanism of heredity. Information necessary for protein synthesis in the cell is stored in DNA. The segment of DNA which contains all the information for synthesis of a particular protein is called a gene for that protein. It is necessary to know the relationship between of these proteins with the characteristics of organisms. So we have to learn the definition of heredity as well as what you mean by DNA and gene. Next is chromosome. What are chromosomes? The structure in the nucleus of the cells that carries the hereditary characteristics is called the chromosome. It is made up of mainly nucleic acid and proteins. During cell division, chromosomes can be clearly seen under the compound microscope. Genes which contain the information about hereditary characteristics is coded from located on chromosomes. Each species has a specific number of chromosomes. In case of humans, there are 23 pairs of chromosomes or 46 chromosomes are there. This is the structure. Middle centromere and arms are there. P arm and Q arm. Each chromosome is made up of DNA and it appears dumbbell shaped midway during cell division. There is a constricted region on each chromosome. It is called the primary constriction or centromere. This divides the chromosome into two parts. Each part is called an arm. The centromere has a specific position in each chromosome. Depending upon this, there are 4 types of chromosomes. Metacentric chromosome. The centromere is exactly in the middle of this chromosome and therefore the chromosome looks like the English letter V. The arms of this chromosome are equal in length. Submetacentric. The centromere is somewhere near the midpoint in this chromosome, which therefore looks like English letter L. One arm is slightly shorter than the other one. Acrocentric. The centromere is near one end of this chromosome, which therefore looks like the English letter J. One arm is much smaller than the other one. Telocentric. The centromere is right at the end of this chromosome, making the chromosome look like the English letter I. This chromosome consists of only one arm, single arm. Generally, in somatic cells, chromosomes are in pairs. If the pair consists of similar chromosomes by shape and organization, they are called homologous chromosomes. And if they are not similar or dissimilar, they are called heterologous chromosomes. Types of chromosomes. This is the diagram. First one, metacentric, somewhat V shape. Then next is L shape, submetacentric, and acrocentric, J shape, telocentric. Deoxyribonucleic acid or DNA. You must have heard about DNA in many places. What are DNA molecules? Chromosomes are mainly made up of DNA molecule. This acid is discovered by the Swiss biochemist Friedrich Mischer in 1869 while studying white blood cells or WBCs. DNA are present in all organisms from viruses and bacteria to humans. These molecules control the functioning, growth and division, reproduction of the cell and are therefore called master molecules. They are only mostly controlling one organism's characters, division, everything is controlled by DNA. The structure of the DNA molecule is the same in all organisms. In 1953, Watson and Crick produced a model of DNA molecule. As per this model, two parallel threads of nucleotides are coiled around each other. This arrangement is called a double helix. This structure can be combined with a coiled and flexible ladder. What's the shape of DNA? It is somewhat a double helix structure. Each strand in the molecule of DNA is made up of many small molecules known as nucleotide. There are 4 types of nitrogenous bases: adenine, guanine, cytosine and thymine. Adenine and guanine are called purines, while cytosine and thymine are called pyrimids because they join together. Always adenine will combine with guanine and the cytosine with thymine. Next is genes. This is the double helix structure of DNA. Each chromosome is made up of single DNA molecule. Segments of the DNA molecule are called genes. Each genes are responsible for each traits of an organism. Example, the complexion of a person, or the height, or the structure of bones. These all genes are determining. DNA fingerprinting. You must have heard about this word fingerprinting, DNA fingerprint, where it is using to find out the criminals. The sequence of genes in the DNA of a person, that is genome of a person, is identified. It is useful to identify the lineage and to identify criminals because it is unique to every person. Even twin brothers or twin sisters, they have different DNA fingerprinting. No two persons are having same DNA fingerprinting. Ribonucleic acid or RNA. That is the next one. RNA is the second important nucleic acid of the cell. This nucleic acid is made up of ribosugar, phosphate molecule and 4 types of nitrogenous bases: adenine, guanine, cytosine and uracil. Here instead of thymine, uracil is there in RNA. In DNA you had seen it is thymine. According to the function, there are 3 types of RNA. Ribosomal RNA or rRNA. The molecule of RNA, which is a component of the ribosome organelle, is called a ribosomal RNA. Ribosomes perform the function of protein synthesis. Messenger RNA or mRNA. The RNA molecule that carries the information of protein synthesis from the genes. They are carrying the information, and that is DNA chain in the cell nucleus to ribosomes in the cytoplasm, which produce the protein, is called messenger RNA. So they are carrying the message from the nucleus to the ribosomes. Hence they are called mRNA. Transfer means tRNA. The RNA molecule which, according to the message of the mRNA, carries the amino acid up to the ribosome is called transfer RNA. So that is they are transferring the message, carries the amino acid up to the ribosomes. So the diagram also shown, mRNA diagram, rRNA and tRNA. Next is assignment. What is meant by chromosomes and explain its types? It is given in the slide or the video itself. You can copy the answer. Describe the structure of DNA molecule along with the diagram it is given. Express your opinion about the use of DNA fingerprinting. Explain the structure, function and types of RNA. That's about the assignment. So today's section over. Thank you. Have a nice day.